Whatever you believe is going to come true. My mom said, please give me money for, and she would go and name everybody in the prayer.
Wow.
And we would say, God, if you help us, my mom will help all these people. If you can really focus on one single thing and just be very, very consistent, it will happen. Don't give up, because it can come from rock bottom too. Enjoy the process of manifestation. And the next step that I did was
what's amazing, Cynthia, is that the fact that you manifested this at such a young age, so you were 15, heading into your 16th birthday, but then you always knew you're going to win the lottery.
Yes, it was total belief.
Wow.
There was no doubt in my mind, and my mother felt the same way. Now, my dad was just watching us, like he was taking it all in, and he didn't say too much, but me and my mom was in the zone. Wow. So we truly believed it.
So you won $3.2 million in total. So it was 9.6 million.
Yes.
But then obviously it was split 3 ways.
Yes.
That is amazing. So what was the process like in terms of you like manifesting winning the lottery?
Okay, so my mom had told me, you know, calm down, because I was like screaming and crying, and I was having a meltdown. And she says, it's okay, come in the house. And so when we came in the house, she grabbed my hands and held my hands. She said, it's going to be okay. Yeah, we're going to win the lottery. Wow. And at that point, I really believed her. From the get-go, I believed her, because that was my mom. And she was so confident about we was going to win. And she said, we're going to pray every night, and by the time it gets to your birthday, we're going to win it. And that's what we did. Every night, it was every night. From that point on, at 8:55, I would meet my mom in her room. We would do a prayer, and the prayer consisted of coming to God and asking for help. And we added in helping other people too. So there was, I was the youngest child, and all of my siblings were married and had their own families. And there was certain ones that needed like a washer and dryer, or they had like a list. And my mom said, please give me money for, and she would go and name everybody in the prayer. Wow. And we would say, God, if you help us, my mom will help all these people and buy my car. And we wasn't asking for much. We was just asking for enough money to get a car, and like probably like 20,000. You know, it wasn't a whole bunch that we was asking for. Like a total of maybe 30,000. It was consistent though. We knew at 8:55 we was meeting in my mom's room. We were serious, and then after we would pray, me and my mom would sit there and talk about us winning. Like we would say, oh, I know we're going to win. We're so excited to help this one, and we're so excited to help that one. And we would talk about helping people. And my mom helped everybody she prayed for. And then on top of that, she gave money to the church. She gave people that was in need that we knew of. So there was probably a total of at least 15 people she helped. So my mom was a very good person. She really did what she said she was going to do.
Yeah, I love that, Cynthia, because as well as you and your mother praying daily, I know it was the 2 months leading up to winning the lottery, but then you're attracting more of that positive energy, which makes everything even more in alignment.
Yes, and the next step that I did was I would go to my room after we prayed and after we talked, and I would go to bed so happy, knowing that we were winning. And then it's called visualization.
Yeah.
There was times that I did not want to go to sleep, because I was in that zone of picturing it in my head of us winning. And it would be very simple pictures that I was focusing on, but that visual picture that I had in my head was so clear.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about quantity, it was about quality. I would take little snippets and I would focus on that visual picture, and then comes the emotions with it. And since then, the closest teachings I have seen so far is Neville Goddard.
Yeah.
And he talks about that. And looking back on it now, it was those techniques that he talks about.
Wow. So can you tell like the viewers and the listeners exactly what those techniques are?
Well, you get to the point where you're very, very sleepy. You're sleepy, but you're not asleep. You're in that in-between stage.
Okay.
And when you're in that in-between stage, you're connected to the spiritual world. And when you're in that spiritual world, that's when you start creating what you want.
Okay.
And it's, to me, it was so simple back then because I actually enjoyed it. And I do that for little things, but you really have to be consistent. Like when you set out to do something, it has to be consistent. So if you can really focus on one single thing and just be very, very consistent, it will happen.
Wow.
And that's anything. It's not just the lottery, it's anything that you want.
Yeah. It makes me
consistency.
Yeah.
Consistency and actually getting that picture in your head, and then the emotions that come with it.
So you're like infusing everything into one in terms of energy, and then obviously you're in that alpha state of mind, isn't it?
Correct.
Wow. So what have you manifested since winning the lottery?
I have manifested several things. Like when I was younger, I didn't know what I was doing, but like if I wanted to lose weight, I could just lose weight. I wanted a horse, and my dad always says, you're not getting a horse. I ended up getting a horse. Later on in life, my dad had an Impala that I wanted, and he was like, you're not getting my Impala. And then I started manifesting that. And then it was probably about 6 months later, he finally said out of nowhere, he was like, you can have that car now. I was a respiratory therapist for several years, and it got to the point when you're working a job and you just are, it's just the environment is not what you want.
Yeah.
And I felt like the environment with different things that was happening there, I didn't want to be there no more. So I was like, I gotta, figure out something else I'm passionate about, because I love being a respiratory therapist, but it was the other stuff involved with it. And so I would be at work on my downtime, writing business plans out and manifesting my coffee shop bakery. And that was like in 2017. And then 2018, I started like a home business.
Yeah.
And then in 2019, we finally got to the point where we had a storefront, and now we're on 3 years. And I know that's manifestation, because we started with nothing, and we kept on manifesting, and then we would have all kinds of money come to us out of nowhere. So now we're on 3 years, and now there's this piece of land that's beside our storefront.
Yeah.
And I did not think that we were going to be able to buy it. And for a year, I had manifested on that land, and 2 other people bought it within a year. And then I finally, a month ago, got the opportunity to buy that land. So in 2 days, it's going to be finalized, and it's going to be in my name. So
congratulations. You're just so in flow, Cynthia. There's nothing that you can't manifest.
I'm trying, and I believe it. I believe it so much. I want to give other people hope. I'm not the most eloquent person talking about this, but I do feel like I'm giving other people hope. So that's why I speak upon it so much, because I'm so excited about it. Manifesting is real.
Yeah, it really is. And I must say, Cynthia, you're great at talking about it because you're a real life living experience that it does work. A lot of people speak on manifestations, but they don't have the proof to back it up.
It's kind of private too. You know, you don't want to tell too much about your personal life,
Yeah,
but you also want people to believe you. So I think I tell too much of my personal life, but I still do it.
Would you say that anyone has the ability to manifest what they desire?
Yes, it's all in your belief. Whatever you believe is going to come true. So if you believe manifesting is not true, you're right about that too. It's your belief, it's your mindset. Whatever your mindset is what you're going to receive.
So then it just shows the fact that you have to position yourself in a happy state of mind. You have to be vibrating a high vibration level rather than being in doubt, rather than being in fear.
I think from my experience, the best state to be in is a more positive state. But I do want to say there's been a few times when I was rock bottom and I was very, very upset. So there is times when you can connect, when you are just very humble and you have like gave up, like, please, because I don't want nobody to believe just because they're in a bad state they can't create, because that does happen. But who wants to be in that state to get there? But you can also manifest in a happy state. But I want to give hope to people. Some of my biggest manifestations have come from rock bottom, because it's like you give up resistance. It's like you give up, like, universe, show me what you can do, because I've gave up at this point. So that can happen too. And that's a big thing I want to explain to people. Don't give up, because it can come from rock bottom too. It's about humility is what I have connected it to.
What do you think are some of the things that are blocking people from, like, let's say that they wanted to manifest something huge?
It has to be consistent.
Okay.
And you cannot put a time frame on it. And that's what happens, I think, a lot of times, is you're so excited and you want it to work out, that you want it to rush, but you have to get into the process and calm down. Enjoy the process of manifestation. Enjoy it and it'll come. And you have to believe it. So when you're trying so hard and you are pushing it, it's almost like you're telling the universe, I don't believe it. But if you get in that state, I say the best state to create, and enjoy it. Like when you're visualizing and you're picturing things and you have those good feeling emotions, it's actually enjoyable. So enjoy the feeling of having that new house, but you got to be consistent. So it'll be a daily practice and it will come, but it's got to be a daily practice. Pick one thing to prove to yourself that the universe is manifesting for me. So pick one thing, get focused on it, and don't stop until you get it, and enjoy it. Make it a game.
Yeah, I love that, Cynthia, because we get so caught up, like when we have so many goals and we're working on so many different things simultaneously, and it's like, oh, okay, that's taking on. But then, as you said, when you're focusing on one thing and then you have clarity and you're putting so much like positive energy towards that thing, you'll be more inclined to get that thing. Could be a big thing, well, no matter how big or small it is, but you'll be more inclined to get that thing when you have to focus on that thing.
Yes. And that, all of this is the way I feel, but this is what has worked for me.
Yeah. Oh, that is just truly incredible. So, I mean, like, for people who are like starting off on the manifestation journey, what key tips would you give them in terms of the early stages?
There's so many people that talks about it. So I say, look for the creator that you like. Search out for the information that sounds right to you and you're having fun. There's so many out there. There's Abraham Hicks. There's Dr. Joe Dispenza. On YouTube, you can find Neville Goddard information. on TikTok, I love TikTok. There's so many people on there. Just find the person that talks to you and just have fun with it.
Okay.
There's so many people out there talking about it, and I enjoy listening to anything positive. And that's another thing. I always search out positive stuff. Always search for positive. Don't look for negative. Negatives don't find you no matter what. Look for the positive.
Yeah. And I guess that must be so difficult nowadays, isn't it? Because there's so much negative news, just like everywhere. People are bombarded with so much negativity. I
get caught up in it sometimes. I'm like, this ain't serving me. This is not doing nothing but put me in a bad mood. Yeah. And I have to remind myself, it's believe me, it's everywhere.
Yeah. It's like, it's so easy to get trapped in it. And then that's what puts people on a low vibrational level.
Correct. Yes. It's really easy to get caught up in that. And it lowers your vibration. And nothing good is going to come from a low vibration.
Where do you envision yourself in like 20 years from now? Because I see you manifesting huge things. I don't think there's anything you can't manifest.
I would love to manifest helping other people.
Yeah.
And I would love to do anything positive to help people in need. So I see myself doing something great, doing charity work and giving back.
Oh, you're doing it already, Cynthia.
You're
doing it. How can the viewers and the listeners, how can they connect with you? How can they follow your journey? I know you're big on TikTok.
My favorite platform is TikTok. I'm trying to do a YouTube channel, but that's a learning process. Being on interviews and being out front is not my strongest suit, but I'm trying. I'm pushing myself a little bit. But yeah, Earl Chick 73 on TikTok is the best place to find me.
Okay, so Earl Chick 73 for viewers and listeners. I must say, Cynthia, you're doing an absolutely incredible job for like spreading your story and how you manifested 3.2 million, which is just awesome. I think like there's nothing that you can't manifest. I can see you doing absolutely incredible things from now to 20 years and beyond. I think you're absolutely amazing. And I love the fact that you have such a pure heart. And I think that's another reason why it's easy for you to manifest, because your heart is so pure.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. Oh, I look forward to seeing you like attracting and manifesting more greatness within your life and seeing the amazing things that are yet to come for you and your family.
Thank you so much. Wish everybody just believed in manifesting, because if you believe it, it's true.
Yeah. That is so true. If you believe it, it's true. I love that. Oh, I love that.
Thank you so much. And you're just a positive person too.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful person, inside and out.
Oh, thank you. Likewise. Oh,
have a beautiful day.
I see you manifesting huge things. I don't think there's anything you can't manifest.